How many of you believe in paranormal activity? Do you know how many people in the world believe in paranormal activity? Do you know that it is not a scientific fact that paranormal activity even exists? Why not? Don't enough people believe in it? Well, it seems that in 2021, YouGov reports that 41% of Americans believe in ghosts. IPSOS in 2021 reported 36% of Americans believe in ghosts. People magazine in 2023 reported 57% of Americans believe in ghosts. And yet our scientific community says that it is disproven. It does not exist. There is no proof of paranormal activity. Chapman University survey of American fears in 2018 reported over 75% of Americans believe in at least one paranormal phenomenon. The Gallup poll in 2005 said 72% of Americans held at least one paranormal belief. YouGov poll in 2023 shows that 67% of Americans believe they have had at least one paranormal experience. So from 2021, going from 41% to 67%. And I had heard numbers in the 75% range currently. So I'm thinking, if 75% of the population believe that there is paranormal activity, why can't we prove it? Why haven't we proven it? What does it take to prove it? Well, we're going to jump into that in just a few minutes. Stand by. I'm going to switch screens here. We had done a podcast earlier about paranormal activity and what it takes to have evidence. Now, there is what we call soft evidence and hard evidence. One is subjective and the other is objective evidence. What it would be included in subjective evidence or soft evidence or personal experiences. Can you imagine going to a trial and having a personal experience not be documented or stand up in court very well? Witnessed accounts of apparitions, unexplained noises, cold spots, feelings of being watched, and other unusual phenomena. These experiences can be compelling, but they are subjective and difficult to verify. So apparently the problem is in verification. Yet in a court of law, we don't have to have somebody back up a witness or verify what they're telling us. It's strange how we're held to different standards. Physical sensations. Some people report feeling a cold chill, a tingling sensation, or a sense of unease in a supposedly haunted location. These sensations could have natural explanations, but they can also be attributed to paranormal activity by believers. So these things are things that are soft evidence. Now let's go one step further in the soft evidence. Let's say we're having a cold spot or you're having chills. Can we back that up with something like the EDI data logger? If you place that where you're doing your activity, it records every second. It makes a recording of what the temperature is in the room. So if you got dropping temperature, it's going to catch it. If you've got an EMF, it's going to report it. If you've got barometric pressure change, it's going to record it. If you've got vibration, it's going to record it. So you've got a lot of things that this EDI recorder or data logger is going to record for you that documents, and that becomes hard evidence because it's something you can touch, something you can see. So that hard evidence then becomes objective evidence that we can use, and it is more, the scientific community is looking for more evidence like that. We also have some historical evidence that we could rely on because we have a history of events happening at different locations, like the same room number, I think it's 501 in Hotel Galvez in Galveston. So it has a history of it. And people leave the room in the middle of the night. You know, go down to the desk, they check out, or they move to another room. They go in there wanting to be there, and then they have to move, you know. So they are convinced, they become convinced that they've had a paranormal experience, and they've had enough of a paranormal experience. They don't want to have any more. And it's been a little frightening for them. But if a place has history of tragic events such as murder, suicides, or accidents, it may be considered more likely to be haunted. Considered likely to be haunted. But if you have a history of people moving out of that room consistently over time, who's going to know this but the hotel staff, you know? But you get rumors of it, but that can't be documented. There's not hard evidence. It's just a hearsay. Local legends and folklore. Folklore is a wonderful thing. I love folklore because a lot of it is based on real things, real happenings, and Indian folklore. Love it. I love a lot about what the Indians believe. Stories passed down through generations about hauntings at a specific location can add to their perception of its haunted. Also, we have documented things from the American Indians, things like wolfmen, Sasquatch, a number of different entities like that, skinwalkers. So anyway, those are all historical evidence, but it's still something that you can't touch, you can't see it, you can't feel it. All you can do is hear it, you know, and report it. So it doesn't really count like hard evidence does. What we're mainly looking for in the line of hard evidence will be something like electronic voice phenomenon. These are sounds of voices captured on audio recordings that are not audible at the time of the recording. While some believe these are communications from spirits, skeptics attribute them to interference or other natural causes. Well, a lot of times you don't even have that. A lot of times what you're recording with your recorder is just between you and asking questions in the open air. And some of those come back. Now, how do they explain those voices? I've got some of those, a number of them, in fact. And I actually have some recordings of some that are very long with a ghost box. I have some where we have had people go recently to the West Texas Paracon in Ballinger, Texas, and a lot of our people, or several of our people, were there with Chris Moon and his ghost box, and he gave them readings. They came away with tears. The line was long. There were about 30 people there, and they all connected with who they wanted to connect with. And they all heard the voice of the person, their loved one. So how does that not count? I mean, if you videotape it, you record it, you have video and photographic evidence that you can see, that you can touch, that you can hear. So that becomes hard evidence. And why don't we have more of it? Why aren't we doing more of that? We should be. Photographs and video images or videos that appear to show apparitions, orbs, or other unexplained phenomena. These are compelling, but they are also very easily faked and explained by natural causes like dust particles or camera malfunctions. Now, I have to admit that most of the things that I see on pictures and stuff, people call orbs, aren't orbs. They're dust, they're insects, things like that, water in the air, coming out of the trees at night. So there is compelling evidence then that, you know, you have to eliminate some of these things. And one of the things I believe in and what I have seen are that the orbs they emit their own light. Now, if it's just something that's backscattered and you're getting a reflection from your flash, that's different than something that's lit and you're getting light to your camera. And a lot of times it's the ones I'm talking about that I have are green orbs or blue orbs, and that they're emitting a blue or green light and they come through. Some of them at quite a distance. So those, we got to get together as a group, decide what orbs really are, what they look like, so that we all are saying the same thing. These are orbs, these aren't orbs. These are orbs, these aren't orbs. So we've got to be educated to a higher degree and all be united in what we say and represent. We need to be talking more, collaborating more, doing more together to make these things happen so that we're recognized by the scientific community as being ethical, truthful, and present real evidence. Electromagnetic field fluctuations. Some paranormal investigators believe that ghosts cause fluctuations in electromagnetic fields. I do. While EMF meters can detect these fluctuations, they can also be caused by electrical equipment or other sources, and they can. We did an investigation at a police station. I won't say who and embarrass the police officers, but they apparently were having fun with us, because as soon as our EMF detector, our tri-field meter, helped me locate magnets that they had planted, they lost interest in our investigation, and all the smiles disappeared from their faces, and they went back to work. They had done enough. They surrendered. We had the whole police department back at work. I don't think they expected us to find their magnets and the things that they had laid out for us to throw our instruments off and to have fun with us. But anyway, it didn't work. We caught them. And that was because of the EMF detectors. And in some cases, we had one case where we had a lady that was having, her child was having trouble sleeping. And the child was having bad dreams at night. And they called us in. We went in and we used the EMF detectors. We found extremely high and dangerous levels of EMF being emitted by a transformer out the window, the child's bedroom window, right there by her bed. No wonder she was having problems sleeping, So we told Mom, go talk to the manager, and they can get that transformer checked and replaced. In the meantime, you move to a different apartment and find you something that's safe. This is not safe. This is unsafe. Also, something that might be objective evidence and something that I like to use a lot for dowsing rods. I'm pretty good with the dowsing rods. I've been using them for 60 years. So anyway, and not on that, but my wife has passed away. She's on the other side, and she definitely communicates with me. She helps me when I'm demonstrating the use of the dowsing rods to other people. And so I always get results with the dowsing rods. There's no question. And I like to put those in the hands of a student with them pointing them down. And then when they climb uphill as they rotate, you know that force is being applied to them. And actually, once you become sensitive to the forces, you can feel as soon as you touch the wire, you know that you're getting something. There's something there. No question about it. But it takes some experience to get there. As a new user, you're not going to be that sensitive. Again, how does that become evidence? That can only become evidence if you videotape it. And you maybe have different people do the same thing, and you get the same answers. Repeatability is another issue that the scientific community wants to see. So I believe that by videotaping the dowsing rod usage, that should be evidence in itself. I don't know what else we might be able to do. If any of you have suggestions, I'd be more than happy to hear your suggestions. Would love to hear them. And we can add that to how we're going to go about as a community proving that paranormal exists to the scientific community. Thank you. Good night, everybody.